What is up, guys? My name is Spencer, and today we're doing something very interesting. We're doing a redraft of the 2009 MLB draft. So I'm really only doing the notable names in this draft. I only did really like the first 10 rounds, and after that, the guys I don't think would have made a big enough impact to really matter in this. So how we did it is we essentially just traded the draft picks to the team that would have drafted them if we were doing a redraft. And so for example here, you can see we do have Mike Trout on the Washington Nationals, as they had the first pick in the 2009 draft. And I don't think there's really any arguing that if they had the chance, they would take him given what they know now. But before we get any further into this video, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below how you think this draft is going to go. List a few guys, what team you think that'd be taken by. And turn on post notifications if you haven't already to be notified every single time I post. And moving on to pick number 2 in the 2009 draft, we have the Seattle Mariners selecting Nolan Arenado as their third baseman. I think this would make sense too with pick number 2. I think Nolan Arenado now today would go second in this draft. I think he's probably been the second best player out of this draft class. And originally you did have Steven Strasburg going first, but I think we'll see him being drafted by the San Diego Padres. Steven Strasburg going third overall in this draft, in this redraft, to the San Diego Padres. I think that he would go probably third overall. He's been really good, and he was really good for a long time. He has had some issues with injuries, but he still is, as you can see here, 91 overall. Still a really good guy, and still probably the ace of their staff here. And coming in at 4th, we have the Pirates selecting Paul Goldschmidt. Now, yeah, his last couple of years have been a little subpar, but he still is a great first baseman, a guy who probably will bounce back and continue to perform at his old numbers. And I think it makes sense that the Pirates would pick him there. And it was unfortunate we did have to move Josh Bell, but I think that the Pirates still would have selected him 4th overall, because you are getting a really good first baseman in Paul Goldschmidt. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 draft, the Orioles select outfielder JD Martinez. I think that this pick makes sense. I think that if you were doing a redraft, you would definitely pick him up there. He has really shown what he can do in the past couple of years, and as you can see here, great contact, great power. And yeah, I think this pick, really good pick. And if you're doing a redraft, I think that you would probably take him at this spot, maybe ahead of Strasburg, just given how things have gone recently, maybe ahead of Goldschmidt as well. But I do think that Goldschmidt is still a more consistent player, as JD Martinez has kind of just started to show how good he is. But Paul Goldschmidt has been really good for the past couple of years, and especially with the Diamondbacks, he was excellent. And with the 6th pick in the 2009 draft, the San Francisco Giants select DJ Lemahieu. Now, this is one where I could have put probably JD Martinez here at 6th, and I could have put DJ at 5th, but it's just a matter of personal opinion, honestly. Now, with the 7th pick in the 2009 draft, the Atlanta Braves select Kyle Seager, another guy from this draft class who's done well for himself. He's a good player. He's not at the tier that like DJ Lemahieu is, but I think he makes sense in this spot in the draft. Now, at the 8th spot in this draft, the Cincinnati Reds select Dallas Keuchel, a guy who has kind of fallen off a bit in the last couple of years, but still a good pitcher, still a guy that you'd want in your rotation. And then with the 9th pick in this draft, the Detroit Tigers select Matt Carpenter, a good third baseman who has some power, who has kind of had an off year the past couple of years, but a guy who has shown a lot of talent, a good knack for hitting home runs. And I think he makes sense at this spot in the draft, given who else might be drafted behind him. This is actually the last spot I'm going to be doing for this draft, because after this, it does kind of get a little nitpicky. You have guys like Brian Dozier, who I could put in here, and Brandon Belt, but I don't think that these guys are going to make too big of an impact on their team, and arguably, I mean, Matt Carpenter probably isn't going to either, but still, I wanted to do it just because he has been pretty good in his career, and I think it would make sense for him to be drafted this position if you were to do a redraft. And you do have some guys, though. I mean, like Will Myers, Chris Davis, Kike Hernandez, Yan Gomes, who, I mean, these guys might make an impact of the team, but just for the sake of time and my sanity, I'm not going to do the entire draft class redone. But I think that these guys who have done are the ones who are going to make the biggest impacts for their team, and we'll see how they do, I guess. So the ones that I'm really going to focus on, though, here, I'm going to stay with the Nationals, I think, just see how they do during this regular season, because obviously Mike Trout, I think, is going to make the biggest impact, but we also will check in with the other teams. So I traded like Mike Trout for Victor Robles just because he is their center fielder right now, and I think it would make sense that if they drafted Mike Trout, they probably wouldn't have drafted Victor Robles to begin with. Yeah, we'll get into it here. We'll just start simming this season, and I think we'll probably just stop at the halfway point and see how every team is doing. And as you can see here, Washington Nationals win 103 out of 162. And we can see here as well, we can see the playoff bracket here. We have the Yankees facing the Twins. We have Oakland and Cleveland in the wild card. We have Houston making it in for the other ALDS spot. We got Chicago and the Nationals, and then Milwaukee and Cincinnati fighting for a wild card spot against the Dodgers there. So we'll first take a look at Mike Trout, see how he's doing this year. He ended the year 324 average, 36 home runs, and 116 RBIs. And let's see. And actually, let's see, did Howie Kendrick do better than him? Howie Kendrick ended the year 30 home runs, 91 RBIs, and 330 average. So keeping pace with Trout there. And we'll head over to the Mariners here with Nolan Arenado batting 288, 29 home runs, and 89 RBIs. They did not make the playoffs, though, unfortunate. And with the Padres here, you can see Steven Strasburg, 12 and 10 on the year, 201 strikeouts, 3.26 ERA. So, I mean, not awful, but definitely not helping his team as much as he could have. And with the Pirates here, we have Paul Goldschmidt batting 265 with 78 RBIs and 28 home runs. Obviously not helping his team out that much. Still a decent player, though, just not able to carry this team to the postseason. And JD Martinez on the Orioles, batting 302, 55 home runs, and 122 RBIs. Wow. Insane amount of home runs, but obviously not able to help his team get into the playoffs. That team around him not doing so hot. And as we move over to the Giants here, DJ LeMahieu batting 263 with the 26 home runs, 82 RBIs. Again, not helping the team that much, especially as much as I thought he would have. And with the Braves here, you can see, I added Kyle Seager to this team, right? Oh, I wonder if he's on their minor league roster. He may have got moved down. Let's see here. Third baseman. Oh, he's on the injury reserve list. So he actually got injured during the year, batting 230. Wow. So he may have gotten injured kind of early there. And moving over to the Reds here, you can see we have Dallas Keuchel going 14 and 8. The 160 strikeouts, 2.74 ERA. So he's helping his team here. They're in the wild card game now, so we'll see how he can do in the postseason too. And Detroit not making the playoffs here, and we can see Matt Carpenter batting 267 though, 25 home runs, 66 RBIs. So doing decent, putting up pretty good numbers, but they did not make the playoffs. Yordan Alvarez actually won Most Valuable Player for the American League here, batting 332 with 47 home runs, 135 RBIs. You can see JD Martinez there coming in third. 55 home runs, so still a really good year from him. And wow, you can see here Clayton Kershaw winning MVP, 21 and 2 on the year. Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich second and third. I'm assuming he won Cy Young as well. Yep, Cy Young. for the NL. So yeah, we'll head into the playoffs here though. I think the only teams that we have that actually have somebody on them are the Nationals, the Reds, and then I think that's it for the people we moved. So we'll see if the Nationals or Reds can carry this out. We'll move back to the Nationals here as I think they have the best chance. So Reds won there. Indians won, so we'll see. We'll sim through the first 3 games here. Ooh, so Nationals might get knocked out of this, and they do. Nationals get knocked out. They might face the Reds here, though, so I think I'll move over to the Reds and see how they do. All right, so we'll see how the Reds can do in their final game here, and they won, actually, so they'll be facing the Cubs. We'll do the first 3 games here of this series, and, whoa, they might sweep them. They did. And they'll be taking on the Astros or the Yankees in the World Series here. So they'll be taking on the Yankees here. Reds-Yankees World Series. Certainly interesting. Reds do lose the first 2 games here. Will they get swept? No, so they won the second 2. The third goes to the Yankees. And will the Yankees pull it off here? It's going to go to a Game 7. Oh, and the Reds lose it to the Yankees. But honestly, that's surprising to me. Reds make it to the World Series. I don't know if that's because of Dallas Keuchel, but hey, he definitely probably helped here. So we'll check it out. We'll look at how he did during the postseason here. So we went 1-0, 3.2 ERA. But yeah, overall, I'm assuming Mike Trout helped his team the most, but JD Martinez did as well. So yeah, I mean, this was kind of interesting. I don't know what other draft classes would be good to do for this. I don't know if I should have gone more in depth too. Let me know down in the comments, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It's very interesting to make it. And subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on post notifications to get notified every single time I post. And I'll see you guys next time. I also wanted to do today the giveaway. I wanted to announce the winner here. So we obviously only did win 1 game in our giveaway battle royale, and if you can see it here behind me, we have Jonathan Beard who guessed 1, and we also had John Walker here guessing 1 as well. He said, not to be mean, but I think you will only get 1 win. So we're going to set John Walker up as heads, and we're going to set Jonathan Beard up as tails. We're going to run the coin flip here. This is honestly the best way I could think of doing it with only 2 winners, and we'll see how it goes. So it's going to be tails here, so that means that Jonathan Beard wins it. So Jonathan, I will be sending you a message on YouTube, or if you have another way to connect with me, if you want to drop your like Twitter name in the comments below, that might be a little bit easier for me, and I'll shoot you over a code for winning the giveaway.